Hey everybody, I'm here with my good friend Dawn Sylvester. We're just going to hang out and talk about resistance training for women as we age, why it's important. Dawn is, she's been coaching women into stronger, more energized lives for over 20 years, and she owns a gym. She's a wellness coach. She's just an overall badass. So I'm so excited for you guys to meet her. She has really had a firsthand experience as to why women are aging faster, why we're losing energy, why we're gaining weight, and just everything that kind of happens as we age. So give us kind of your take, Dawn, on just why we need to exercise. I think we all sort of know all the benefits of exercise, but why we maybe should be adding in resistance training and get off the treadmill,
Oh,
every time we
oh,
go to the gym or
definitely.
every time we do anything.
Right,
Walking is restorative and super therapeutic, but let's really kind of dig into weights and resistance training.
right. Hi, Missy. It's so awesome to be here, and I love having our conversations. I think that we are so aligned with the way we believe. And right now, so many women are still so stuck in two mindsets. Omitting tons of food from their diet because it seems like everyone has this badge of this named diet right now. And then so they're lacking energy and they feel like they're supposed to be losing weight. So the next thing they do, which has been going on for years, is doing more cardio. So cardio is muscle depleting. And of course, it's great to have, strong lungs, strong heart, good, oxygen uptake and loving a good brisk walk, especially now if we can get outside, we're meant to move. But as we age, functional strength is so much more important than just being able to walk really far or really fast. So people ask, what exactly is functional strength? So functional strength is basically the ability to bend, squat, push, pull, reach, carry, first of all, your own body, and then possibly an object. I mean, how many times have you heard someone threw their back out getting a gallon of milk out of the back of the trunk, or people are so sore from a day of gardening in their lower back? So I feel like that's one of the biggest reasons that people over 50, which when I recite these statistics, it's amazing to me because I turned 60 last year. So when you think of the aging population turning 50 and falling, and then that's turning into a life-changing event. And I don't mean in a vegetative state, which of course it could be that, but that's that downward spiral. You might hurt your knee, twist your ankle, you don't recover as well. So instead of waiting for that to happen, what I coach all the women in my life and online is to build a stronger core and stronger glutes. When your glutes are strong, not only do you look better and you look more youthful, but it prevents you from leaning and falling forward. So those functional strength moves that mimic everyday life, that's what's necessary. I
Mm.
coach my parents in our gym twice a week that are 83 and 84. So for
That's
every woman, it's
awesome.
amazing. And for every
Love
woman
that.
that thinks, I can't lift more than, or they say they have weights and they use 5 pound weights, it's like my mom and dad, my mom's 4'7" and weighs about 102. She lifts 35 pound kettlebells very
Whoa.
slowly and very mindfully. But I set up little obstacle courses because life is an obstacle course. We're on our
Mhm.
cell phones, we're walking fast, we're not paying attention. So we do a lot of barefoot training because when you are with your bare feet, you really feel what the ground feels like. You're more aware of your posture. So it's about having that balance, that posture, that confidence. You see people walking with their shoulders in front of their hips, their heads are in front of their shoulders. So I always feel like you're already halfway down, no wonder you fell. So it's like stand up straighter, pull in that belly, expand your rib cage,
Mhm.
shoulders back, be aware of your surroundings, and that's going to keep you stronger.
Yeah.
Resistance bands are great, free weights, dumbbells. I'm not a fan of machines unless you're rehabilitating an injury because
Mhm.
machines you're not engaging every muscle and you don't really have to pay
Mm.
that much attention.
Mhm.
So sure, I had shoulder surgery. I used machines to rehabilitate everything. That was great. But I specifically asked, can I do some of these standing? Because when you're standing, you have to squeeze your glutes. You have to stand up
Yeah.
straight. So all these things that get you more aware of how your body functions as we age. Then you go into aging more confidently. You're stronger. You feel better. You look better. You move better. It's a win-win situation.
Absolutely. I love that. I'm feeling like I need to sit up a little taller right now.
Oh, I know, whenever I say that too. And
Thank you for that.
I used to say to people, shoulders back, but now it's almost like, and if you do this right now, open up and expand your rib cage. Right
Mhm.
away, your shoulders are already back, your
Mm.
belly's a little flatter, and you can take a deeper breath. So if we have more oxygen coming in,
Yeah.
if we're hunched forward and sitting forward, hard to take a deep breath. You
Yeah.
expand your rib cage and sit up tall. First of all, you look taller, you feel better, you look youthful, it's
You
just
got more
all these
oxygen.
little tips that
Yeah.
I've said over and over through my emails and my newsletter and when I'm actually coaching people, that I love it when they come back and say, you know what, Dawn, I thought of you yesterday. I was reaching in to grab that flat of flowers and I squeezed my glutes and I bent my knees a little and I pulled those suckers out of there and I did my yard work and I was fine. And I'm like, good. Yeah,
Mm.
that's what I
Yeah.
want to be, the person that you
Amen.
think of me later on, not
Yeah.
counting 10 more or 5 more or whatever.
Yeah. Not when you go down because you wrinched your back when you lifted the gallon of milk or
Right.
the jug of water off
Exactly. Right.
out of the car. Yeah,
And
exactly.
then the other thing that goes with how you and I have spoken of is I coach my girls, clientele, people that follow me to eat for energy and to eat
Mm.
for what you're doing next. I mean, I
Yeah.
love how they coined that the SAD diet, standard American diet. Nothing, I don't follow a named diet, but I try to be very mindful of superfoods with super benefits. I always say
Mhm.
superfoods for super moms with superpowers. And, it's like
Love it.
we want more energy, but if you look at what's in people's grocery carts, especially
Mhm.
women that have followed so many diets, it's usually low fat, low sugar, lots of labels. And I don't think our bodies can process that. So I
Mm-mm.
always feel like instead of focusing on what we need to omit, it's what are we missing? I think
Yeah.
everyone's shortage of fiber and plants and plant-based things. So it's really hard to get women to think of, okay, your only thing you're going to think of this week is add 2 vegetables a day. Well, am I allowed to eat? Doesn't matter. All you're thinking of. Well, what if I weigh myself? I said, doesn't matter what you weigh. And that's the other thing, the scale. I'm sure
Mhm.
women are such slaves to the scale that doesn't tell you, did you eat healthy? Are you sleeping great? Are your hormones balanced?
Mhm.
Do you have something calming in your life that you like? I mean, it's such a yucky tool. Ditch the
Yeah.
scale.
Exactly. I love that. Yeah, I
Yeah.
like to add 2 vegetables a day. I typically will say start with 1 meal and let's kind of dial it in, and
Right.
typically breakfast is the easiest for most people because you're not necessarily eating with anyone else. So you can
Right.
sort of substitute that carby muffin or whatever
Yeah.
that choice
Right.
might be
Yeah.
into
Bagel and
something
coffee. Right.
nutritious. Yeah, into something a little more nutritious and then work your way through the rest of the day. So,
I agree.
but I like that.
I used to really look at people's nutrition, package after a 7-day stint. I'd say, write down everything you eat and everything you drink. And I'd look
Mhm.
at it and they'd tell them right away, be all excited about exclaiming about the number of calories. And I said, I don't care about the number of calories. I will never have you
Yeah.
count a calorie. What I'm interested is, where are you getting your fiber from? And how much sugar are you taking in? And how do you feel? And
Yeah.
do you sleep at night? And do you rely on coffee to get your energy? I mean, right now I'm drinking what I drink pretty much all day long. A little
Mhm.
shot of cold pressed, fresh pressed organic ginger with a little bit of lemon and just, filtered water. I mean,
Yum.
that's my like boost.
Yeah. Sounds
Good for
good.
digestion, good for energy, good for
Yeah.
skin.
Yeah. I love that. Okay,
Yeah,
let's circle back to resistance training. So, if you have somebody that says, "Okay, I get it. I've read the studies. I know it's good for me, but I haven't lifted weights in 10 years
right.
or a year or
Sure.
months, whatever it might be."
Right.
Where do you recommend people kind of start? What's a
See,
good starting
it's
point?
amazing. It's amazing because right now during lockdown, pretty much all of the workouts I do on online workouts for another company, and I do all body weight workouts.
Yeah, I
And
love
a
that.
couple of weeks, I said, I have a great idea. Let's grab a couple of canned goods. Everyone's got canned goods. Now it's amazing. It's a 20-minute workout, how you can get your heart rate going when you are doing squatting and bending and pressing all
Mhm.
in a short period of time. Your heart rate's going, you're taking in, your blood's flowing, you're using your muscles, because I have everyone work out barefoot. Of course, you
Yeah.
can't do that all the time or in a public gym, but it's really cool to feel that connection and body
Mm.
weight and slow, methodical, knowing the muscle you're squeezing. I always tell people, work your biggest muscles in every plane of motion. So I have
Mhm.
quite a few different digital products. They're all follow along workout videos, and they are based on biggest muscles, your glutes, your back, your chest, your legs. That's where you're going to get the most bang for the buck of burning the most calories. And those are also
Mm-hmm.
the things that keep you powered through if you need knee surgery later on, or keeping your posture better and burning the most calories. So you have a more muscle on your body means a more efficient body that burns more calories. So, that
Mm-hmm.
depleting food and depleting muscle and all those cardio exercises that are like an hour and 2 hours long, you're sparing your precious muscle tissue. I try to
Yeah.
get women especially to rethink of building muscle to get stronger and to look more shrink wrapped.
Absolutely. I love that. So I know for me, I have scoliosis, always have, obviously.
Okay.
And sometimes I go down the path of like, oh, it hurts. I really don't want to do that. In different stages of life, people will have like
Sure.
a pulled something, or maybe they're doing other sports where they've,
Of course.
injured part of their body. Um, do you have any tips on like how to identify or how to kind of work through like what's a good discomfort and
Right. No,
pain and kind of
excellent
recognizing like
question.
because I have a lot of women that say, "Oh, I've got this ache and pain or I've got this that pulls or
Mhm.
hurts, but I know it's just getting old." I'm like,
Of
"No,
course. No, it's
there are
disuse. It's disuse. Right.
83-year-old people working out
Right.
with
It's disuse.
35-pound
It's sedentary.
kettlebells."
Right.
Yeah.
Sure. And also, I agree with you 100%. I have an old tailbone injury. I had shoulder surgery. I mean, I'm 60 years old. I was a heavy weight lifter. I was a gymnast. Now I'm sitting for 8 hours a day in lockdown
Yeah.
on a laptop talking about wellness and keeping moving. So, I mean, for the first time in my life, have challenged myself. I'm on day 26, I believe, of 12-minute yoga sessions that I watch on YouTube. And
Yeah.
boy, let me tell you, to start out with, I make a lot of noise because I'm like, oh, my back, oh, my rear end, oh, my knee. And then by the time you get moving, I want to do a second session.
Mhm.
And then, sure, I mean, you need blood flow. We need water. We need nutrients for our body to
Mhm.
heal and feel better. And movement. It can be slow movement, but everybody and every body will
Yeah.
adapt to getting a little bit stronger. I mean, my parents, they're a perfect example. My dad has cancer. He's on chemo.
Mhm.
He has had knee replacement. He's had 2 shoulder surgeries. You want to talk about badass? I mean, he's a very driven mind, and thankfully I have his mind. But even when something hurts, and it's not a force yourself to do it. He'll make himself take a walk around the block just to get moving because he feels better. And then he'll say, you know what? If I felt worse, I went back home and foam rolled, or I did
Mm.
something like that. And if I felt
Mhm.
better, which most of the time he does, he'll walk another couple blocks. And then I say to him, because he has a lower back thing, and I'll say, Dad, you're starting to walk like this, which you see 40 and 50-year-old people on their phone
It's
like
true.
this. So I say, think of leading with your hip bones. When you walk, think of your hip bones are pulling you forward, and your chest and everything else is in alignment like this. So when you stand up taller and lead with your hips, you feel stronger. So when we
Mhm.
feel stronger, it's already a confidence booster. But if we keep having that voice in our head, you don't have to work out for an hour. You don't, I mean,
Mhm.
you know, challenge yourself to 3 times this week, take a walk around the block,
Mhm.
and when you do that and feel better, it's more, you want to come in the house and do a couple body weight squats or a couple push-ups on the wall or push-ups on the kitchen counter. I can't do
Mhm.
push-ups on the ground right now. I had shoulder surgery a year ago, and I want to make sure I never have it again. So
Yeah.
I'm still doing my push-ups against a counter. I'm still getting
Mhm.
the elbows behind me, expanding my chest, and still pumping a little blood flow to those disused muscles.
Mhm.
So it's really getting your mindset in a place where it kind of stinks in the beginning, and sure, you're going to be sore. This is a perfect example of, you went out and planted 2 flats of flowers, and for 3 days we're sore. That's
Yeah.
how sedentary we are right now.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Okay, but what about the person who maybe, runs 5 miles a week and is in decent shape and has done, different boutique type workout,
Sure. Sure.
maybe gyms or whatever,
Yeah.
and is like, "You know what? I do need to do some resistance training."
Right.
What's a good place for them to start? No real complaints, aches and pain wise. What's
Right.
a good
Right.
place
It's
for
all
them to
kind.
start?
I think everybody should start with body weight. And then
Okay.
you adapt as you get a little bit stronger. And I have digital programs, I don't know if you want to put links later on if
Yeah,
people are
totally.
interested in. Sure. But I mean, I have a 7-minute workout session. I've got 20-minute workout sessions with one tool or 2 dumbbells. So it's like as you progress, and everybody will progress as you keep doing it. In our gym, we have everything from guys that want to put on 30 pounds of muscle to women that want to lose 100 pounds of body fat. And they
Right.
all come in saying, ooh, lift a 10-pound weight. And if they come 3 times a week, it is amazing how your body wants to. Our bodies are pretty efficient if we feed them the right thing. I mean, you know this, if we feed them the right thing, get the right
Mhm.
amount of sleep. I mean, obviously we have to have a positive mindset, which is harder to do right now. But I love that you said the girl that's run the marathons or been in the boutique gyms. I love the girls that have run the marathons but don't have actual strength, because body weight squats, push-ups, those necessary muscles that we need to keep strong, pliable, and active as we age, you don't use those when you run. So
Yeah.
it's that overall forward, backward, left, right, squat, stand. You know what I do with some of my clients? I have them get on the floor and lay down, push yourself with your right arm and get up and stand up. And they're like,
Hmm.
that is so hard. I'm like, I know. So
Yeah.
now get down on the floor, lay down on your stomach. That I have fallen and can't get up. That's a real deal.
Yeah.
Okay, so how do you get up when you fall down? Half the people can't even barely get up. So it's like, how, practice that. Get on the ground, lay on face down, put your left hand in the back of your pants, use your right hand to push yourself to a seated position, and stand up. Then do it with the opposite side. You might have broken your arm or whatever. So everyone's going to
That's
age, but
awesome.
how do we age? Poorly or excitedly? Or are we adventurous and look forward to the next things we're doing? Or are we afraid because we don't want to be in a nursing home? We don't want people to take care of us. So today's the day to start taking care of yourself.
Yeah. Amen, sis. I'm
Yeah,
with you. Yeah.
right.
I tell my mom all the time, she's in her early 70s and she can still like sit crisscross on the ground and get up. I don't know if she could do it with, one hand in her behind her. I'm not
Yeah, it's
really sure about
okay.
that, but yeah, I love that. So that's kind of always been
Right.
sort of my goal. Like I want to be able to do with that with my grandkids and just
Sure,
in life
sure.
in
There's
general,
another really cool exercise that really frustrates people, but it's a really good gauge. I don't know if you could be able to see me. So it's sitting in a chair. So you're sitting in a chair, planting one leg on the ground, solid, and coming to a stand position with one
Mhm.
leg.
Okay.
So it's driving that heel into the ground, pushing your glutes forward, standing up and elongating. Well, most people can barely get their rear end this far off the chair. And they
Okay.
say, wait a minute, how'd you do that? And I'm like, that's the strength of the front of your leg. That's the strength of your glutes and your core.
Love
So
that.
that's a basic thing that people can practice. Obviously, do it on a card table, chair, or off the edge of your bed. Try to get up on one leg, unassisted, and see where you are. I mean,
Yeah.
you're not going to flail across the floor, but it's just a
I love
good
that.
gauge to see what kind of strength you have, what kind of shape you're in. Just
Yeah. All right.
little
Well,
things like
that's a challenge. I love that. So maybe if you have a couple of those, send those to me and I'll put them with the video,
oh,
so
fantastic.
that
Oh, I have
everybody
a
can
couple
kind of,
really good ones. Yeah.
yeah, if
Yeah.
they're feeling like, let me
I'm going
see,
to try this.
let
And you
me
don't
see
know
where I
because
am.
when have you tried to do this mindfully, so right. Right.
Exactly. Exactly. So, well, thank you so much, Dawn. I could talk about this all day
I
long
know,
and I
same.
appreciate your time today. And it's always a joy to talk to you. So maybe you come
Thank
back and
you.
we can keep chatting about other
Right. We
things.
will, because the other thing that people don't know is I have a thyroid disorder, then that makes people think right
Uh,
away you're doomed. So that's not true either. So,
yeah.
right, this was great. I love talking to you, Missy. And, like I said, we align with so many things that obviously we could talk for hours, but
Yes,
maybe,
and you have so many wonderful resources. You guys check out her website, constantenergyfitness.com. Lots of tips and mindset
right,
information,
right.
exercise, nutrition, all those things. So make sure to check out her website. You've got lots of great resources there. And yeah, let's come back and talk about thyroid and
Excellent.
kind of training and what that looks
Sure.
like
A little
and
more
what we need to be
details.
aware of. Yeah, let's kind of dig into
I
that a
would
little
love
bit if you're
to.
up
I
for
would
it.
love to.
Okay, good.
Thank you for
Well,
having
thank you,
me.
Dawn.